Well, a pleasant good morning here on a beautiful Tuesday morning at the Daren Sammy Cricket Ground here for one-day action of the series between West Indies A and Bangladesh A. Of course, the 4-day test match series has been completed and now it's time for one-day cricket. 350-over matches to be played on Tuesday, that's today, Thursday and Saturday. And already this morning, good news. It's the weather is in supreme condition. The outfield is in excellent condition as well here at the ground. West Indies have won the toss. They have elected to field first, and it looks an excellent day for cricket. Alongside me is Greg Wilson. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Vishaman. Good morning to all those following the proceeding here at the Daren Sammy Cricket Ground. Yes, indeed, it's a lovely day for cricket.
Yeah, lovely day for cricket indeed. And you would have just seen on your picture the sports minister here in St. Lucia, Kenson Kanzimi, and Donald Albert, first vice president of the National Cricket Association, greeting both teams, Greg. An excellent initiative, getting the sports minister out there. He's come out and he's greeting both teams, Bangladesh A and Josh De Silva's West Indies A.
Yes, this is sort of a tradition that you have had in St. Lucia over the years, where the sports minister, there have times where even the prime minister would be out meeting the teams, especially during like CPL and some of those big games down here. Yeah, so it's a good initiative.
Yeah, and the track out there in the middle for this game, Greg, it has less grass than what we've seen in the tracks prepared for the 2 4-day matches, the test matches. Less grass on this surface. There's still some grass though, and I think it's going to be a good deck for cricket.
Yes, the surface that has been used for this first one day, it was the same surface used for the first 4-day unofficial test.
Yeah, definitely so. And always here at the Daren Sammy Cricket Ground, Greg, the track that has been prepared promises pace and bounce. But let's have a look at both teams for this contest. For the Bangladesh A team, Mohammad Mitun, the captain, Jaka Ali Anik, Mritunjoy Chowdhury, Hassan Mahmudul Joy, Naeem Hassan, Saif Hassan, Mukidul Islam Mugdo, Muhammad Naeem Sheikh, Rakibul Hassan, Sabir Rahman, Soumya Shaka, and the 12th man Hussein Shada Deepo. For the West Indies A, Josh De Silva, the captain, and of course Alec Atenays, Tejnarain Chandapal, Preston McSween, Tevin Imlak, Sherman Lewis, Justin Graves, Shamar Springer, Brian Charles, Anderson Phillip, and Teddy Bishop. Excellent, both teams there, Greg Wilson. Some changes from the test matches as well.
Yes, certainly both teams have brought in some fresh faces. The likes of Teddy Bishop for sure will be getting a knockout there. So it should promise to be a very enthralling day of cricket.
Yeah, definitely so. It's a good day for cricket out here at the Daren Sammy Cricket Ground. And we would have had 2 great test matches on show, despite some of the inclement weather that we had around as well here in St. Lucia and Grossie Lay. Greg, 2 good matches.
Yeah, there were 2 good matches. Unfortunate, they both ended up in team draws, but both teams had a lot that they could have taken out of the series, both in terms of batting and bowling. There were a few notable performances.
Yeah, definitely so. You would have seen, of course, in that second unofficial test match, right here, Bangladesh A would have batted first, 300 for 9 declared, and West Indies A in response 277 for 5, and of course both captains deciding to call it a day, and the match ended in a stalemate. For the Bangladeshi, Saif Hassan had 146, Jaka Ali Anik had 33, Shadman Islam had 25, and that summed up the 300 for 9. For the bowling for the West Indies, Anderson Phillip, he had 3 wickets. Markino Mindley, who was the leading wicket taker in that test match series with 6, he had 1 in that game. Justin Graves had none. Colin Archibald 3, Yannick Correa, the leg spinner, he had 2. 2. In response for the West Indies, Tejarai Chandapol struck an unbeaten 109 of 337 deliveries. Josh De Silva had 37 and Alec Atanase, he had 82. In the wickets for Bangladesh, Naeem Hassan, he had 3 and he was the second leading wicket taker in the tournament, in this series with 4 wickets. Mrityunjoy Chowdhury, who came into that game, he had 2. So that was the second unofficial test match. And there is good old Josh De Silva, who is always a vocal, smiling character, the captain of the West Indies A team. He receives the ball from umpire Christopher Taylor. There's the West Indies team, Greg.
Yes, you guys look very bubbly out there. Would have had 2 good days of rest and perhaps some practice. And yeah, now they're in colored clothing with the white ball, so it's certainly a different format, and format that some batsmen and bowlers relish playing.
Yeah, and of course, umpire Christopher Taylor and umpire Dayton Butler, the 2 umpires for this game. And it looks to be Soumya Sarkar and Mohammad Naeem Sheikh who is going to open the batting for the Bangladeshis. And Mohammad Naeem Sheikh with number 12 on his back. And there is good old Soumya Sarkar with number 16 on his back. And he is, it looks as though Mohammad Naeem Sheikh is going to be taking strike. Anderson Phillip is going to take up the attack, and he's going to get things on the way for the West Indies. Greg, an excellent bowler, Anderson Phillip. He works up ahead of steam, gets the ball to nip around at pace as well.
Yes, we saw a good bowling display by Phillip in the Test series. So one would hope that he would want to replicate or even better that bowling performance that he had.
He'd want to take that confidence that he finished off with in the Test matches and look to transcend that into this game and look to put up a good performance here. It's been in and around the West Indies team setup as well, the senior team that is. So he'd want to take that confidence. So here's Anderson Phillip with the first ball of the first one-day match here at the Daren Sammy Cricket Ground. And the delivery that short and just rising on Naeem Sheikh, who has to be a bit watchful here very early on. Of course, he didn't participate in the Test matches. He's a new addition to the setup, and he's come in for this one-day international series. So he just want to take a couple deliveries here, Greg Wilson, to get started.
Yes, certainly he would want to get the pace and bounce of the wicket first. Although the modern day batsmen sometimes they tee off from ball 1.
Phillip wide of that crease and just getting a ball to beat Sheikh outside the off stump. Just pushing on that one. Should have been leaving that one alone, or maybe coming back and across and getting in behind it.
Yes, good delivery there. Really drawing the batsman into the shot, and the ball just steaming away slightly, but no damage done.
Mohammad Naeem Sheikh, youthful career thus far, just 22 years of age, from South Dhaka in Bangladesh. Confidently played there by him, and he would have participated for Minister Group Dhaka, Legends of Rupganj, Beximo Dhaka, Rangpur Riders, and Dhaka Division South under 18s. And he would have played 1 Test match already for the Bangladesh team and 2 ODI matches. 2 ODI matches, he would have batted in 1 inning and just scored 1 run, and he would have played 34 T20 international matches thus far for Bangladesh as well. Batfi's just closing on him there as he played that one. So a good start by Philip thus far.
Yes, Philip has kept things tight. No real freebies on offer as such.
Greg Wilson, you know, it's always a transition from the longer version to the shorter version of the game. The shorter version, of course, is going to be a bit more intense, while the longer version you can be a bit more relaxed on the field. While you still need to be prodding away, you can afford to be a bit more relaxed in the longer version. This time he's edging and he's gone. Lovely delivery outside the off stump from Anderson Phillip. He strikes. The first nail in the coffin goes to Phillip. Sheikh has to go for Doc.
Yes, Naeem Sheikh certainly on this occasion looking to cut a delivery that was perhaps too close to him, getting the outside edge and a beautiful catch taken there at the slip. So West Indies drawing first blood very early in the proceeding.
Brian Charles, the man taking the catch. An excellent catch there. That was going at some pace there, Greg Wilson.
Yes, certainly it was traveling, but the good thing about it was that it was just above head height, so it made it quite comfortably for him to have hold on to it.
Definitely so. And good catch taken, you have to say, but Phillip getting into the action immediately and removing Naeem Sheikh, who, of course, not a good start to his one-day match, his one-day series.
Not a good start at all, and not a good start for Bangladesh, having lost their first wicket without a run on the board.
And that would be a big loss for them. And they wouldn't have wanted to lose an early wicket here, Greg. It's always important for your openers to put up a solid platform.
Yes, you would want to have a good start in the power play overs, but that wasn't to be. And Anderson Phillip really drew first blood.
So it's number 2, the batsman that has come out to the middle, and that looks to be Mohammad Saif Hassan. This is Mohammad Saif Hassan, of course, who would have had an excellent test match series. Phillip coming over the wicket to him, and that's a short rising delivery, and that completes the first over. Brilliant one by Anderson Phillip. A maiden wicket over there, Greg Wilson.
Yes, couldn't ask for a better start from Phillip. Certainly Bangladesh has been rocked on the back foot with the early dismissal of Naeem in the very first over of the match by Anderson Phillip. So good start indeed.
Top start after your captain would have won the toss and you would have asked the Bangladesh team to take first strike. There's no better start than that.
Just the sort of dream start that you want. A wicket down without a run on the board in your very first over of the game.
And Sherman Lewis, who is going to partner with Anderson Phillip at the start of this game, he's going to take up the attack from the Kaimaje end. He had a good test match series as well. He had some sort of a niggle. He went down in the first game. He didn't play in that second test match, but he looked good in the short period of which we saw him play. He's someone who would have played test cricket for the West Indies as well, Sherman Lewis. And he would have been out of the setup for quite a while. Here he is. Delivery, that swing down the leg side. And it seemed to have taken the pad on the way to the wicketkeeper Josh De Silva, who was diving away to his right.
Yes, the batsman may have felt out. He probably missed out on that occasion. Ball really angling down the leg side. Played at it, but it must have brushed something along the way, because we did not see the umpire signal wide.
Some prodigious movement on offer early on here for Sherman Lewis. Of course, he's bowling to the very experienced Soumya Sarkar for Bangladesh this time. This one is edging, and he's going to get runs here, Sarkar. He could get off the mark with a boundary, and that's the first runs up for Bangladesh, 4 for 1.
Yes, Sherman Lewis on this occasion just pitching this one outside the off stump, and Saka driving, getting the outer portion of the bat, and the ball sped down to the Vic and Whitefoot region for 4. So he's off. Has opened his account with a boundary.
Very, very experienced Soumya Sarkar. 16 test matches, 61 ODIs and 66 T20s for the Tigers. An alumnus of the Bangladesh Krira Shikha Pratishthan in Dhaka. The man from Shatkira, Soumya Sarkar. It's a good delivery, so it's a good comeback from Lewis after just being struck for 4. And it wasn't a convincing shot, so to speak, Greg. It was Sarkar just pushing at the delivery outside the off stump, jamming down on a full pitch delivery, but it took the outside edge. But very luckily, it didn't go to hand.
Yes, and since then we have seen Lewis really pull back the length.
We know Soumya Sarkar well. He likes those deliveries at full outside the off stump. Getting it up there, and you can see the intention from Lewis to bowl it a bit straighter, but I think he needs to be a bit wider off that off stump, Greg, because of the fact that he's getting movement prodigiously into the left-handers.
Getting good movement, and you won't want to be too close to the batsman. Have him reaching out for the delivery, and with 2 slips and a gully in place, there's a possibility that you could bring them into play.
2 slips, the third man, a wide third man in position on the boundary. There's a backward point cover, mid-off, mid-on, short fine leg. And Saif Hassan, he's off and running now. So that completes the second over, and at the end of it, it is 6 for 1.
Yes, the Bangladesh finally opened the account in the second over. Luis certainly bowled a few good deliveries, but one in particular, second delivery of the over, was a over pitch delivery, and Saka to advantage. But certainly Glenn Phillips would be coming in for his second over and would want to continue the good work that he had started in the first one.
Here he is. It's a good delivery. A bit too straight, you have to see, there from Phillip, and just allows Hassan to turn the strike over. That's good batting.
Yeah, good rotation of the strike, and with the left-right combination out in the middle, it can pose a bit of problem for some bowlers.
Yes, definitely. And we didn't see as much movement just yet from Anderson Phillip. I'm eager to see him get the ball up there. Look to get it moving around a bit as well. If you're just joining us, we're into the third over of this very first one-day match between West Indies A and Bangladesh A. It's the first of 3 one-day matches to be played right here at the Daren Sammy Cricket Ground in beautiful Grossily St. Lucia. And delivery from Philip, just holding its line there, Greg.
Yes, good delivery outside the off stump. But Saka not really interested in playing a shot, just a little too wide of the off stump.
And of course, these two teams, not exactly the said squads, but Bangladesh A and West Indies A would have played unofficial ODI matches already against each other. And in the last 5 matches, West Indies would have won 4. West Indies A would have won 4 of them. And the 5th match, that's the most recent one, the match prior to this one, between both West Indies A and Bangladesh A, would have been abandoned. This time he's pulling the Saka, and he could get 2 easy runs, and he does so. That's Teddy Bishop, the man doing the work out there. Good to see Teddy Bishop in the team, Greg.
Yes, the youngster been given an opportunity and hope that he could capitalize on it when he gets a turn at the crease to bat.
It's good to see a crop of fans just coming in on the western end of the ground here. This time it's pushed into the air and just short of Tevin Imlak at cover. Just stopping on Soumya Saka a bit there, Greg, and his heart would have been in his mouth.
Yes, ball just stopped and got big on him, as what we would say. Looking to push through the cover, but fortunate enough, it did not carry to Imlak in the cover region. So Anderson Phillip continuing to bowl well.
Yeah, Imlak just hanging back there and allowing the ball to come to him. This time Saka pulls hard, and that's 4. Absolutely thumped, too short from Anderson Phillip.
Yes, guilty on this occasion of bowling short and not much pace in that last delivery, and Saka got into position very quickly and just dispatched this one through the mid-wicket region. So a good over for Bangladesh, some 7 runs coming off this over.
You can't afford to bowl those kind of deliveries to someone who has played that amount of international cricket, Greg Wilson. They're not going to let those deliveries get away.
Yes, vast experience player on a good surface. He knows that he can trust.
You can't afford to trust the bounce on this track here at the Daren Sammy Cricket Ground. Here's Sherman Lewis down the leg side, and that's 4 more consecutive boundaries, this time off the bat of Saif Hassan.
Yes, spot delivery there, bowled by Lewis, just straight into the pads of the batsman. Just had to get back to it. He evaded the man at the short fine leg boundary and got 4 easy runs.
Yeah, didn't have to do too much there, Saif Hassan. Just getting some bat onto it, maybe an inside edge, and it ran away here on a beautiful outfield here at the Daren Sammy Cricket Ground. Normally a quick outfield. Ground staff has done excellent work. This time he's edging, is he? Yes, he is, and he's gone. What a comeback there from Sherman Lewis. Pitched up delivery, moving outside the off stump. It takes the outside edge, and the silver, he's not going to miss out on those. He accepts a simple catch. That's the end of Saif Hassan.
Good delivery there, ball by Sherman Lewis after being struck for 4 in the previous delivery. This one pitching just in line with the off stump and just moving away. Batsman looking for the drive and got the outer edge, and a relatively easy catch there to captain Josh De Silva.
Yeah, change of glove men for the shorter version of the game. Imlak kept wickets in the test matches, and This time we saw Josh De Silva taking the gloves and an easy catch taken.
So certainly Sherman Lewis delivering this one in very good areas, and just batsman looking to play slightly across the line rather than looking to hit straight back, perhaps past the bowler, and resulting in getting a faint outer edge of the bat and a relatively straightforward catch to the keeper.
And the thing is, Greg, that's a big wicket. That's a man in form. Saif Hassan.
Yes, certainly. Just coming off the back of 146 runs in the last innings that he would have played on this very ground.
Definitely. So 146 in the first innings of the last test match. And now he is gone, comprehensively beaten outside the off stump by Sherman Lewis. And Lewis, who's getting the ball to move into the left-handers from the Kaimaji end, would have been getting that ball to move away from Hassan, doing the right thing, Greg, pitching the ball up, getting it to move outside that off stump.
Yes, still a fairly brand new ball. It's just in the fourth over, so certainly there will still be a bit of swing on offer.
And look at that delivery move away from the bat of Mohammad Mithun, who's just come to the crease. Mithun, the skipper of the Bangladesh A team.
Yes, certainly the Bangladesh team has found themselves in a spot of border, and the captain would need to play a captain's knock. Certainly they would need a partnership at this point in time.
Definitely not the start that they would have wanted this morning. And a loud appeal for leg before. Not out, says umpire Dayton Butler. Nods in denial of that appeal. Just maybe going down the leg side. Greg is signaling that as well. Let's have a look again. Yeah, way down the leg side there, Greg.
Yes, clearly this one is angled down the leg side. So relatively easy decision for Dayton Butler to make.
Yeah, and umpire Dayton Butler, Christopher Taylor, Carl Tuckett, and Mr. Carlisle, the match referee. They've all been with us for the entirety of this series, Greg. Good guys they are.
Yes, some good umpiring, one would say, so far.
Yeah, we've seen some excellent decisions from these umpires. You have to commend them for their good work out here in this series. Umpire Dayton Butler, of course, he was telling me that he would be heading over for the CPL after this series. So it's a quick turnaround for him. And we want to wish him all the best in his duties in the Caribbean Premier League as well. Taking his skills across there. Too straight from Lewis. Bishop has some work to do. He does well. And they get 2 to finish off the over. And at the end of it, it's 19 for the loss of 2 after 4 overs. And have a look at that piece of fielding again.
Yes, good work done there by young Teddy Bishop to save 2 runs. But a successful over by Sherman, but sort of an inconsistent over in the sense that there were a few deliveries angled down the leg side, but he did bowl a pitch over delivery to get the wicket of Saeed. So Bangladesh now 19 for the loss of 2. West Indies would be pleased with the effort so far.
Yes, and two very experienced batsmen at the crease for Bangladesh. So they would want this partnership to blossom, Greg. Mohammad Mithun, the skipper, he would have played for Bangladesh, and he's still in contention for senior team, and Soumya Sarkar as well. So this is a partnership that needs to blossom for them.
Yes, to experience batsmen out in the middle. So they would want some sort of contribution from both of them.
And Soumya Sarkar has a record to his name that he may not want to have on his mind, not in one-day international cricket, but in T20 international cricket, he has the most ducks in a career. He had, well, the second most ducks in a career. That's 10 in T20 international. Something that he may not want to really think about. It's timed, takes the outside edge, and there is protection. Drops short of Lewis, and Saka gets one.
Yes, ball outside the off stump. And like they say, when you go hard. Ball peeling off the outer edge and goes down to the wide footman region. And they're only able to go through for one run. So good bowling by Philip. At least keeping things outside the off stump where he has the protection, he has the support.
Yeah, he's bowling a bit wide outside the off stump, but as you mentioned, he has that protection, so I'm guessing he's bowling to his field there, Anderson Phillip. He's making some subtle changes for Mohammad Mithun though. He's getting in that cover fielder in a bit closer. Looks to be Justin Graves who's there. Very hot day here in Grossi Lay. Just a bit of movement outside the off stump, but he pitched that one on a good line there, Greg.
Good delivery. So Mithun being squared up a bit after playing this one, so it's Anderson Phillips still getting a bit of movement out in the middle.
Mithun, who would have shown glimmers of hope in that test match series with the bat. Didn't push on though. He'd want to do a bit different here in this series for the better. Down the leg side, wide, signaled immediately by umpire Christopher Taylor.
A good bounce, good carry, but was just badly lined.
Extras normally a concern for the West Indies team, not just this A team, the senior team as well, Greg. I think that's something that they would want to look at and want to limit in these developmental phases of their cricket, as these players look to move forward into the senior team, break into that senior team. Quick single taken here by Mithun. Good running.
Yes, a single on offer, because the man at the mid-on area would have quite a bit of work to do to get in closely to prevent that single, and the bowler in his follow through would be moving to the left, so it would be difficult for him even in his follow through to stop that single. So the once he bowls straight, there's always a single on offer in that region.
Philip, who has shown that intent to come around the wicket to left-hander, and it has bore fruit already for him in this innings. He told that he got away with that wicket-taking delivery, Greg. That one that was wide outside the off-stump that the Sheikh was cutting at.
Well, remember, Sheikh has not really played prior to today on the wicket, so he really would not have known how much bounce and how much pace there would have been.
Time this is trashed away by Soumya Saka. Explosion from the bat of Saka, and that brings him 4.
Yes, a shot of authority there. Phillips just short and wide on this occasion, and Soumya Saka really just put in the right foot across and just thrashed this one through the cover region for 4 runs. So a poor end to the over by the bowler, but Bangladesh would be pleased getting some 7 runs off the over.
Yeah, good over, you have to say, for the Bangladeshis, and Saka he doesn't miss out on those. He likes to press on the accelerator when needed, and he's an opener that likes to take on the bowling. He doesn't run away from a challenge. This man as well, Sherman Lewis. 26 for the loss of 2. 2 straight again. And 2 runs taken. Laps there from Shamar Springer at a fine leg. Allows Saka and Mithun to get through for 2. Greg, and as a bowler, you earned yourself a wicket pitching the ball up, getting the ball moving outside the off stump. You're seeing that you are getting that movement, and yet still you're pitching the ball in straight.
Yeah, sure. And Luis has struggled in terms of his line. He's not been consistent at all this morning.
Not getting the radar right. Again, 2 straight. Springer has some work to do. And another double for Mithun.
Yes, anytime he bowls as straight as this, the batsman Mithun is good enough to work the ball onto the onside, and there's always 2 runs available for him. So he certainly needs to go a little wider, and as you did indicate, he has picked up a wicket before, so he should look to replicate the delivery that brought him success.
Let's see if he learns on and comes back well on this occasion. Mithun is taking his time at the media center end, and now he pulls out. Maybe he wasn't comfortable there. That's Mithun. He looked up a bit late, and when he looked up, he saw Lewis coming in. Hence, just pulling out to get himself ready and comfortable. Time short, pulled hard, and that's 4 more. Lovely batting from Mohammad Mithun. 8 runs already in the over.
Yes, not the best of overs for Lewis. First 2 deliveries basically was short angling into the pads, and the third delivery there, just pitching this one short, not much pace really in that delivery, and Mithun got up on one leg and just struck this one through the mid-wicket region for 4 beautiful runs. So certainly a shot of a man who was in total control.
Yeah, and he really latched on to that there, Mohammad Mithun. And he's raced along to 11 since coming out there after the fall of that wicket of Saif Hassan. It's time Fuller, and I would assume that when Mithun pulled out a couple deliveries ago, I think that fueled Sherman Lewis a bit. Maybe fueled some anger to dig that one in short, Greg, and as he dug it in short, he was pulled fiercely.
Well, he could have used the short ball, but it has to be an effort ball.
Yep.
This one just sat up there and got into position quickly and just dispatched this delivery into the mid-wicket region. So if you're going to go short, you need to put the effort into it.
A bit better there from Lewis. One more delivery to go in the over, and not the best of overs thus far from Sherman Lewis. Already picked up a wicket. Philip struck as well. Philip struck early to remove Muhammad Naeem Sheikh for a duck in his very first over, in which he bowled a wicket maiden. And then Sherman Lewis struck as well to remove Saif Hassan. No run on offer there for Mithun as the 6th over finishes. It's 34 for 2. Mithun, he's on 11, and Soumya Sarkar, he's on 15.
Yes, the Sherman Lewis was able to come back and close the over beautifully. The first 3 deliveries considered some 8 runs, and then the last three free dot deliveries. So one would hope that he would have realized the sort of line and length that he could bowl, and he could pick up wickets or at least contain the batsman and do that more regularly.
So Philip gonna get into his 4th over, and he hasn't had a bad spell this morning. 1 for 14 in 3 overs. But his first over was a wicket maiden, of course, and 14 coming off his next 2. So that just may be laying at the back of his mind. This time an excellent delivery outside the off stump. That has been the length, that has been the line that Philip has been operating at, Greg.
Yes, looking to keep the ball outside the off stump, but on occasion just a little too wide where he has been punished. But generally he would want to bowl that sort of line and length where the batsman really cannot free his arms that easily, like the last delivery he bowled.
Top stuff from the speedster from Trinidad and Tobago. Just varying the length there, carrying that one up a bit more and just straightening as it passed the bat of Saka.
Yes, good delivery there by Philip. Saka certainly would have been more on the back foot, hoping for one that would have been a little short back of a length, and this one was carried up a little fuller. So certainly he's mixing things up, keeping the batsman guessing.
That's what you need to do when you're bowling to a batsman of the caliber of a Soumya Saka. Ooh, this one coming back in a bit with the angle, but that's a sign of a good batsman. Saka knows where that off stump is.
Certainly good batting and good bowling. Phillips keeping things tight just outside the off stump, and Saka would play at those he needs to, and what he feels that he doesn't, just allows it to go to the keeper. So good contest between bat and ball out in the middle.
Cutting, but finds the fielder at a cover point. Imlak. Well, actually, it's Atanase that's at that position. Does well. That was hit hard.
Hard, but straight to the fielder. Certainly, the offside region has been strengthened, where he has gotten 2 boundaries so far. So Anderson needs to finish off the over well. 4 dot deliveries so far.
Short, and that's going to be wide. Yes, it is. Umpire Christopher Taylor gets into the action. That was too short.
Yes, happy to see the effort that was put into it, but definitely was a wasted delivery. Too short indeed, not to trouble the batsman. But Phillips will certainly be sending a message out to the batsman, letting him know that, he could bowl some fiery stuff.
So it's carrying that one up. One more delivery to go in the over. And Philip just spoiling the over with that wide delivery. And looking for too much pace in that previous delivery. That flew over the head of Saka. Luckily, the Silver got up and stopped that one. It was a good take. That could have flown away for 4.
Yes, a much shorter keeper would have had absolutely no chance.
This one is into the air. Fielder comes around and he takes the catch. A magnificent catch there by Daren Sammy coming away to his right from that short fine leg position, and a diving effort, and Samia Saka has the goal, and he would acknowledge a brilliant catch there from Daren Sammy, the man from Georgetown, Guyana. Greg Wilson, have a look at that catch again.
Yes, it's a good catch there. Good effort there by Daren Sammy, really running and putting a full length dive. So Anderson Phillips would be pleased with the effort, the short ball, continuing with it, and it has brought him good success.
Well, the man from Georgetown is flying here at the Daren Sammy Cricket Ground in Grosse-Ile, St. Lucia. I think everyone in Guyana and everyone in the West Indies would be proud of that effort. That's confidence for you there, Greg, coming in to this game from that century in the last game, Daren Sammy. But again, Anderson Phillip, he persisted with those short pitch deliveries. He knows that Saka likes the ball pitched up outside that off stump, and he persisted with the short pitch bowling, and Saka with the fall stroke, and Chandapol with a better catch.
Yes, good bowling display there by Anderson Phillip. Again, he used the short ball, and it was a good effort ball. It was not the short ball where that just sat there and say, hit me. So certainly Saka had to drag this one from outside the off stump, and it was above the shoulder, head height. Normally it's always more difficult to control those deliveries. And Daren Sammy really coming around and really did excellent work, covered a fair bit of ground to get to the drop zone there and executing a beautiful catch. So good support there to the bowler in the end.
Excellent support. And how many times, Greg, that you, as a captain and a bowler, you ask your fielders to support and support well. And support doesn't, always mean vocal. It also means physically out there in the field, doing the right thing, saving runs and helping a bowler get a wicket and helping your team in the field.
Yes, there are times you have to put in the extra effort. Sometimes you have to put your body on the line in some cases. So Bangladesh slipping in further problems. 35 for the loss of 3 wickets now.
And Justin Greaves taking up the attack. He's replacing Sherman Lewis from the Kaimaji end. And he starts well, a single to Mohammad Mitun to start that over. It brings the new batsman into strike. That's Mamadou Lassane Joy, number 21 on his back. What a player he is as well, Joy. And he's looking to bring some joy to this batting effort of the Bangladesh team. And there's been no joy thus far at the start of the innings. 3 early wickets. Down the leg side, but fielder is there.
Justin Greaves could consider himself perhaps lucky to have gotten away with this one. Ball angling into the pads of Mohammadullah Joy Hassan.
And you don't want to serve up comfort deliveries to a new batsman. You want to put him into some stress very early, Greg Wilson. You want to have him thinking. And you don't want to bowl wasted deliveries at all to a new batsman.
You want him playing as often as possible. And the West Indies fast bowlers, you could see they pretty much prepared to use the short pitch deliveries as well.
Down the leg side, that's going to be wide. So the radar a bit off here for Greaves very early in his spell. Just needs to settle.
Yes, this one was short down the leg side.
37 for 3 inside 8 overs. Greg Wilson, what a start here by the West Indies.
Yes, certainly a good start by the West Indies.
Using the conditions well. Pitched up delivery, no run. Yeah, using the conditions well. The ball nipping around, it's a hard deck. And normally you tend to see that here at this venue. And the West Indies certainly making full use of that decision that has been made by Josh De Silva at the coin toss to bowl first. Good leave there by Hassan Joy.
That's much better line. This occasion, this one outside the off stump. And not the sort of line that at length you could really cut or really drive. Unless you've been out there for a while to be able to drive this one on the up. So good testing delivery there by Justin Graves.
So getting that one right up there was Graves, and that brings the 8 over to an end. At the end of it, it's 37 for the loss of 3.
Not a bad start to the spell by Graves, considering 2, one of which was off the bat and the other one a wide. So he would want to at least tighten on the areas where the wides are concerned, the extras. But all in all, he could be pleased with his first over.
It wasn't a bad over from Justin Graves. Just needs to settle a bit. Anderson Phillip, of course, is going to continue. He has picked up a wicket in that last over of his. So, of course, Josh De Silva sticking with him, and rightfully so. Good delivery just outside that off stump. And he has Mitton coming forward.
Phillips certainly in the midst of a good spell. He bowled some 4.1, has picked up 2 wickets for just 15 runs.
I think the coach, Mr. Andre Nicolo Coley, would be very happy with this performance thus far from Anderson Phillip, and why not?
Yeah, with such returns so far, you can be pleased with his early efforts. Certainly getting some 2 crucial wickets.
I'm sure Phillip won't want to end that here. He would want to continue to prize out wickets for his team. And if he can get a couple more here in quick succession, what a position they would be in, the West Indies A team. Bangladesh A team don't want to dig themselves in a hole here, Greg.
But this is just the 9th over, so they really would want to occupy the wicket for a period of time, at least see the back of Anderson Phillip.
Yeah, for sure. Want to see him out. In a case like this, Greg, where your trump card or your opening bowler who has looked superb, well, after this delivery, would you look to give him a couple more overs? This one played out to backward point, no run. Would you look to keep him there for a couple more overs if he wants to?
Well, at least he will bowl him for perhaps 6 overs.
Yeah.
And reserve the last 4 perhaps for the middle overs and 2 for the back end of the inning. So with the sort of conditions and the fact that he's taking wickets, you would want to give him at least 6 overs.
Looks a fit chap, Anderson Phillip. He has Mithun pulling. Mithun, who has shown that he is not afraid to take on whatever has served up to him, be it short pitch bowling, be it the full pitch deliveries. But Phillip has protection for those short pitch deliveries. He has a wide fine leg fielder on the boundary. He has a deep backward square leg fielder as well. Just getting off some of that perspiration from his arms there, as it is quite hot. This time taking the splice off the bat. As that over comes to an end, a maiden from Phillip, who has a word with Mithun as well. That over comes to an end. 9 bowled. West Indies A winning the toss, asking Bangladesh to take first strike. Phillip completes 5. He has 2 for 15. The score 37 for 3.
Good over there by Phillips, continuing to keep the pressure on the Bangladesh team with an economy rate of 3 and over so far, and has picked up some 2 wickets. He certainly has done the job out in the middle there for the captain, the Silver, and the West Indies team.
Greaves, a tall man, so he's going to get some bounce amid whatever bounce that is on offer. That is just going to add to that bounce as well, the height of Justin Greaves.
Yes, and also he's delivering with that action. He's going to generate a fair bit of bounce out in the middle, and most of the Bangladesh teams, these guys are not that tall, so it will make life a little more difficult for them, because most of the deliveries you'll be playing up from your chest.
So Joy is off the mark. He moves on to 1. Just turning the strike over, and again Greaves there bowling that one a bit too straight, so it's easy for Joy to work it into the onside.
So the line of attack would have to be slightly outside the off stump, because most of those straight deliveries there are easy pickings for those batsmen.
He's edging and gone. Mithun now has to go the 4th wicket down for the Bangladesh A team, looking to pull a short delivery outside the off stump from Justin Greaves. We were just speaking about the bounce there, Greg Wilson, and there is Mithun going to the bounce of Justin Greaves.
Yes, good wicket there by Greaves, just pitching this one short outside the off stump, and Captain Mithun looking to pull this one, getting the top edge, and the ball going to Captain De Silva. Straight regulation catch. So the woes continue there for the Bangladesh team. 38 for the loss of 4 wickets.
38 for 4, and the 10. This is the 10th over, Greg. This is some start from the West Indies A team, and each of the bowlers that have operated thus far for the West Indies A team have all picked up a wicket. Greaves has 1, Phillip has 2, and Lewis has 1.
Yes, good start there by the bowlers. Certainly, this is what you want when you replace a bowler from one end, that he would come in and continue keeping on the pressure and can pick up wickets in the process. And Greaves have done just that after replacing Showman Lewis.
So the captain, Mohammad Mithun, is now gone to Justin Greaves.
But clearly the Bangladesh batsmen have not handled the short pitch deliveries well enough. We have had about 3 dismissals to those short pitch deliveries. So perhaps somebody needs to realize that we are losing wickets and allow some of those deliveries to go through to the keeper.
And that looks to be Sabir Rahman. He has on Shahadat Hussein's Deepu t-shirt, who is the 12th man today. But that is Sabir Rahman Roman, who has come out there. And of course, Sabir Rahman. Oh, what a welcome for Sabir Rahman. He didn't feature in the test matches, but here he is, and Graves with a short delivery climbing to the chest. And he played it well in the end, you have to say.
Well, certainly was not in total control, but good delivery to be greeted with coming out in the middle.
Certainly so. And Sabir Rahman, and he's another player for the Bangladesh team with a wealth of experience, and there he is driving through the offside. He gets 2 runs. He's off and running.
Yeah, good stroke to get off the mark, but just a little surprising from Justin Graves, having greeted the batsman with such a delivery. The next delivery that you're serving up to him is almost a half volley where he could drive outside the off-stump.
Yeah, not a good comeback after that delivery there, that short rising delivery. He's a player, Sabir Rahman, who would want to stamp his authority in this A-team series as the over comes to an end. It's 40 for the loss of 4. Sabir Rahman has just come out there after the fall of his skipper, Mohammad Mitun, to Justin Graves. Rahman, he's on 2. Joy is on 1. And 10 overs have been bowled. That's the scorecard at the moment. Sheikh going in the very first over to Anderson Phillip, caught by Brian Charles at first slip for a duck. Soumya Saka, he went for 15 to Anderson Phillip as well, caught by Tejarain Chandapol, a magnificent catch taken at fine leg. Saif Hassan, he went for 6 to Sherman Lewis, caught by De Silva. And Mohammad Mitun, the captain, he went to Graves, caught by De Silva for 12.
So as you indicated, all 3 of the bowlers have been successful so far.
So Preston McSween is the man coming in from the media centre end. Left arm seamer, and a brilliant start.
Yes, good start to the over, but this one just moving down the leg side.
He's bowling to Mahmudul Hassan Joy. Of course, the Bangladesh team would have a left arm seamer in their setup. That's Mrityunjoy Chowdhury. McSween, who normally gets the ball to move into the right-handers, much like many left arm seamers, Greg, and away from the left-handers.
Yes, the left arm bowlers can be a handful when they get things right.
Quick single taken there by Joy. Good backing up there by Sabir Rahman as well.
Yes, it's good to see that the batsmen are prepared to take the quick single. This one is an easy single on offer. Batsman playing with soft hands, and they were able to scamper through for a single.
And struck a big blow here this morning, the Bangladesh A team. They would not have expected this start from the West Indies A. And Preston McSween has really worked on his fitness in recent times. Looks in tip-top shape, the big left-hander. Preston Anthony Shane McSween from St Andrews, Grenada, 27 years of age. Preston McSween. First class career of just 14 matches, 45 wickets in that, at an average of 26.68 and an economy rate of 3.21. This time a short delivery down the leg side, that's going to be signal wide.
Yes, short and wide on this occasion. Certainly contributing to the extras. Extras will move on to what? So 5 so far.
Flicked beautifully off the legs there by Rahman. And he'll have to settle for 1. There is a fielder out there. Thought that McSween has started the ball a bit too straight. Needs to get it a bit wider. This time on the shorter side, and it's easy for Joy just to work it into that onside and pick up 1 with soft hands. And at the end of the over, the end of 11, it is 44 for the loss of 4.
Yeah, Preston McSween's first over wasn't, well, an expensive one, but not the sort of start that he would have wanted. Really did not bowl in enough consistent line and length, but one can excuse him that being his first over.
It's a 44 for the loss of 4 after 11 overs. So the Bangladeshis, they're scoring at 4 runs and over at the moment. Just a short break in play as the Bangladesh batsmen just looking to get some assistance. The physio would have come out. So looking across to the Johnson Charles stand, to the western end of the ground. I'm seeing, looks as though the Minister of Sport would have been greeting the players earlier. He now seems to be greeting the kids in the crowd there, Greg. That's Kenson Kazimi. He's across there. But here's Justin Graves. Bang on target to Joy.
Well, prior to him being the sports minister, he was a youth and sports officer in the Ministry of Youth and Sports.
That's brilliant indeed. And we would have seen Donald Albert, the first vice president of the National Cricket Association. He was there greeting the players as well. Graves a bit too wide outside the off stump. Seems to get a bit closer. And Greg was, of course, informing us that Donald Albert was the physio for the Pakistan team when they toured England recently. That's good to hear. Tell us a bit more about that, Greg. Single to Joy comes up, just running that one down to third man.
Yes, as you indicate, Donald Dave Albert, he has done some work with the Pakistan team on a tour of England. Presently, he coaches the district team of Swaziland, which he has done some good work with them over the few years. They have been in quite a few of the domestic finals and have won a few as well.
Edging again, and he's gone. Sabir Rahman doesn't have a good start to his ODI series. And Graves strikes once more. He picks up his second. Rahman fending a delivery into the hands of the silver. Just back of a length. Again, the Bangladeshis struggling with the short pitch bowling.
Yes, they are struggling with the short pitch bowling. This one just outside the off stump. And good delivery there by Justin Graves. Perhaps the batter would have been best advised to perhaps drop his hand because the ball was continuously climbing and really could not handle. So good bowling there by Justin Graves and the West Indies team to pick up their 5th wicket in the game so far.
Yeah, not a good day for Sabir Rahman and the Bangladesh team thus far. 45 for a loss of 5. West Indies A continuing their good prowess thus far against the Bangladesh A team in one-day cricket.
Yes, Bangladesh continuing to struggle out in the middle. Certainly, they have not handled the short pitch deliveries well at all. And the West Indies fast bowlers are certainly using the condition out there to great effect.
And you see, the thing is, Greg, many of these batsmen would have been, accustomed to playing spin bowling on those subcontinent tracks, of course, in Bangladesh, of course, and now coming in and being served a diet of fast bowling from guys like Justin Graves, Sherman Lewis, Anderson Phillip, Preston McSween. It is showing that they're struggling a bit on these bouncy tracks here in Grossi.
Yes, certainly quite a few of the subcontinent batsmen have struggled over here.
It's good work there by Josh De Silva to get in behind that one, but he didn't collect cleanly, and it allows the new batsman, that's Jaka Ali Anik, the wicketkeeper batsman for the Bangladesh A team, to get through for 1.
And Jaka is another one we saw in the first unofficial test who struggled against the short pitch delivery. So the bowlers out there, if they do remember that, they're certainly going to pepper him with a few short ones.
He's gone again! Mamadul Hassan joy this time. An excellent delivery from Graves, and he's absolutely wrecking havoc at the Daren Sammy Cricket Ground here in Grossi. There goes the joy of the Bangladesh team.
Yes, excellent delivery there. Some bounce and movement there in the process, and Joy really could not handle this one, looking to fend one off the chest there. And with the wave movement that Justin Graves have been generating, it was an easy catch there for wicketkeeper De Silva. So they are slipping into further problems there, losing their 6th wicket.
What a spell of bowling this has been for Justin Graves. My, oh my, Greg Wilson, I'm shocked. I'm lost for words.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm quite shocked, in the sense that they are bowling well and they are using the bounce and pace to their advantage, and it's working beautifully.
Special performance thus far, you have to say, from all of the bowlers of the West Indies A team. Here's McSween from the media centre end, looking to follow up what Graves has been doing at the Kaimarje end. Number 20, that's Mritunjoy Chowdhury, who has now made his way out to the middle. He's at the non-strikers end. And Jaka Ali Anik is facing up to McSween. And from what we've seen, as you rightfully mentioned, Greg Wilson, the short pitch bowling a concern for Jaka Ali Anik. So something that the West Indies A team would want to work him out with.
Yes, Xhaka struggled in the first unofficial test, and I am certain he will be tested out in the middle very soon. And considering that the short pitch delivery, this is what has been bringing success to the West Indies team. So, if it is working, you have to continue with serving them the short pitch deliveries.
Yes, certainly there is no point in doing anything otherwise. Is this gone now? Yes, he is! Mritunjoy Chowdhury has to go for a golden duck. And the Bangladesh A team, they are in further pressure now at 47 for 7. Yes. Wow!
Clearly, this one, looking at the replay, did come off the glove. So, Preston McSween has also joined in the party. And my oh my.
Have a look at
10
that.
wickets down for 47.
Joshua De Silva has now had 5 catches in this innings. Wow. 7 wickets down, 47 for 7. Sheikh gone to Philip, Saka to Philip as well. Saif Hassan, he went to Sherman Lewis. Mohammed Mithun, he went to Justin Graves. Second victim to Graves was Mahmudul Hasan Joy. Then Shabir Rahman, and now Mritunjoy Chowdhury to Preston McSween.
Yes, certainly the Bangladesh team would be asking themselves, are they dreaming right now? Are they having a nightmare? Certainly they have not come to terms with the sort of bounce and pace and swing that the bowlers are generating out in the middle. And it's good to see that West Indies, the fast bowlers, are really coming in and they are bending their back and they report the reward for their hard work.
Definitely so, Greg. What a morning it has been for the West Indies A team after winning the toss and electing to field first. They have the Bangladesh team in trouble, and trouble to say the least. 47 for 7 at the end of 12.3 overs. And at the moment, the players are having some bananas. They're having a drink. We'll do the same. Not sure about the bananas, though. But
you could have some chenet.
Well, thanks, Greg, for the chenet. We'll be back with more very shortly. Well, welcome back to the action. And it's action to say the least here this morning, Greg Wilson, as you enter back the commentary box. How do you analyze this performance this morning from both teams?
Well, certainly it's a dream performance from the West Indies fast bowlers and the West Indies team. But certainly it would be a nightmare for the Bangladesh team to have 7 wickets down for less than 50 runs. I mean, Anderson Phillips, 5 overs. He has had some 24 dot balls, 15 runs, 2 wickets. Sherman Lewis, 3 overs. He has picked up a wicket for 19. Justin Greaves has bowled 3 overs, has picked up 3 wickets for just 7 runs. And then you have Preston McSween, 1.3 overs, 5 runs, and has picked up a wicket. So all fast bowlers from the West Indies have picked up wickets so far.
And it just underscores the point that fast bowlers really reap the rewards of good fast bowling at the Daren Sammy Cricket Ground, Greg Wilson. So much experts have said that this is a surface that really assists the seamers. Some say that it's the best cricket pitch in the Caribbean now for seam bowling as well. And it has shown that.
But the bigger question is, why haven't we looked to replicate that sort of wicket throughout the Caribbean? Why we do not have more of those wickets around the Caribbean for the bowlers to bowl at?
Exactly so. Naeem Hassan, the man who is joined now Jaka Ali Anik out in the middle, he's a bit taller I think he's the tallest of all of the Bangladesh players, Naeem Hassan. So it would take some doing to get the short pitch deliveries up to him. But he's batted well, Greg, of what we've remembered from him in that test match series. He's looked good with the bat as well as with the ball. Playing that one very late. And Anik not interested. Yeah, but Hassan has looked good.
Yes, especially with the ball, he has bowled really well. Kept things tight. And he has looked good with the bat as well. But it's a big test for him out in the middle today, with the situation the Bangladesh team has found themselves in.
Naeem Hassan from Chittagong, another youngster. McSween getting the radar wrong there. Down the leg side. Too wide, too straight. With Greg Wilson, it really interests me when a captain in this position, something like what a Kyron Pollard would do, Greg Wilson, with this sort of showing from the Bangladesh team, the over comes to an end, 48 for the loss of 7, Greg, I would have instilled a short leg fielder, or maybe a fielder at a short backward square leg for those short rising deliveries, because you have seen the Bangladesh team susceptible to short pitch bowling. These two players, of course, not good exponents, good players at short pitch bowling as well, too wide from Graves. So I would just be tempted to get in a short leg fielder, get in some fielders close in, be attacking, look to close out this innings as quickly as possible.
Exactly what I was thinking before you made the point, which I think is a very valid point. Put in the short leg fielder with 7 wickets down. You have 4 fast bowlers. You could afford to rotate them around and just ask them to come in and bowl in hard. Because you have the luxury of basically 40 overs between your 4 fast bowlers.
Graves, let's on about that middle and leg stump, and there's where Jaka Ali Anik would be comfortable to play those deliveries. And there are the kids at the Johnson Charles stand, Greg. They've come in and they're quite excited at the moment, looking on at what they are seeing. And they must be happy with the performance of the West Indies A team thus far.
Just spotted 2 of the youngsters, Khan Elcock and Josh Sipal. They were members of the under-19 team, St. Lucia under-19 team that just won the Windward Island under-19 tournament in Dominica just recently. They are part of the Grosley grassroots system.
Congratulations to those youngsters, and certainly they could be some of the youngsters that would be representing the West Indies team of the future. Who knows? Many of those youngsters who are sitting in the stand at the moment. Naeem Hassan, not sure what he was trying to do there, and in the end he has to settle these. Just about 49 at the moment, the Bangladesh A team, 49 for 7.
Not the sort of stat that you would want in any form of cricket.
And of course the wide delivery, bringing up the 50. And he's played on! A short delivery again, playing that one late. And the 8th wicket is now down. Hassan has to go, and Justin Graves picks up his 4th.
Yes, good delivery there by Justin Graves, just banging this one in short. And Hassan really was airborne for a while, while getting the inner portion of the bat and just ricochet onto the stumps there. So certainly the nightmare continues for the Bangladesh team.
A nightmare indeed here for the Bangladeshis. And well, 50 for the loss of 8. It's only 13.4 overs bowled here this morning, and look at the youngsters go. They're having a drink of water for that wicket, and they're enjoying themselves. I'm seeing that guy there in the West Indies t-shirt. He doesn't know what to say. He's laughing, he's beating a steel pan. Well, I'm not sure what he's doing there at the moment, Greg.
Yeah, certainly he must be enjoying the action out there. Some good fast bowling, something that for some of them they may not have witnessed before in their lifetime, to see 4 fast bowlers running in like that and really terrorizing the Bangladeshi batting. So certainly he would want to emulate that if he is a fast bowler by any chance.
Well, this batsman is certainly not Saeed Khalid Ahmed, but he has number 22 on. I am not too sure as to who the batsman is. We'll just have to check and see who is that batsman. Good delivery outside the off stump, just tempting the batter. Graves continuing to hit his line, hit his length successfully.
A good first delivery there to welcome the batsman. Certainly will not feel too comfortable out there. Haven't seen the procession in and out of the crease so far for the Bangladesh team.
Well, that completes the over, and at the end of it, it's 50 for the loss of 8.
At the end of another successful over there by Justin Graves, has picked up some 4 wickets for just 9 runs. So with 2 wickets available still, Graves would want to get a 5-er.
He would, and he still has a lot of time to do so.
So Maxwin continuing from the northern end. Would be bowling to the new batsman. This one is angling to the pads. Leg by signal there by umpire Taylor. So with that extra, score moves on to 51 51 for 8. You are seeing clearly it's not a mistake on the screen or the scoreboard. It's 51 for the loss of 8 wickets. So certainly Bangladesh have had a torrid time in the middle this morning. The 4 West Indian fast bowlers, they have all bowled admirably this morning. As they would say, fast bowlers hunting pairs, and they've all complemented each other so far. And the big question would be for Bangladesh, how many more would they add to that 52 with just 2 wickets remaining? This one is pitch up, driven to the man at mid off, and there is no run. So Maxwin would want to add another wicket. So the wicket column there, shot outside the option, fending at this one, just going with the angle. Lucky not to have gotten a touch to this one. It's a good delivery there by Maxwin. So continuing to keep the pressure on the Bangladesh team.
Superb stuff from Preston Maxwin, Greg. Well, they're saying the projected score is 178 at the moment. Greg, do you think the Bangladesh A team can get up to 178 from here on in? That's some task for these two batsmen. But lovely looking shot from Jaka Alianik to pick up 1.
And it will take some getting for them to even reach 100. But I think if they're able to get anywhere close to that, it would be a monumental achievement for them.
It will, and you can't count them out just yet. 52 for 8, well, 53 for 8 now, but Rakibul Hassan has now partnered with Jara Ali Anik. That one pitched up there, a bit slower through the air as well from Preston Maxwin, and that brings the 15th over to an end at the end of it. 53 for the loss of 8.
That's good over there by Maxwin. Just one delivery where first delivery he really strayed down the leg side into the pads of the batsman. But he could be pleased with his effort so far. Some 3 overs. He has picked up a wicket and only conceded 8 runs.
He has, and he has really partnered Justin Graves well, and at this point you don't think that De Silva is gonna done away with Graves. He's gonna continue and he's gonna persist with him. You want to get that fifer. You would have seen the Bangladesh dugout there just now in your picture, and they are not happy. They're certainly not happy with their performance thus far in this game. Not a good start to this one-day series for them. The visitors,
well, they were rocked back very early in the very first over of the match, and they have not recovered since then.
So the real final recognized batsman, that Jaka Ali Anik, is in, and he's facing up to Graves. This time this one takes the outside edge, dropping just short of Ali Catanese, who's held that position well in the test series. He's now there again.
But with the ball still seeming, do you think that perhaps more support needs to be given to the bowler in the slip region?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Just like how we said, Greg, that a short leg fielder should be instilled. I think that another slip fielder could have been put in as well. I think having fielders back on the boundary, well, actually those two fielders out there back on the boundary at this time, I think it's just offering the batsmen easy runs. It's easy for them to nudge the ball into the onside or into the off and pick up easy runs.
Yes, so the Silver need to bring those fielders into more catching position and encourage the batsmen to play the big shot if they can off the short pitch deliveries.
Like that, Greg. Well, look at that. Easily played down to third man. Philip is down there.
A man at gully, this ball would have gone straight to a gully fielder.
Exactly, and that would have continued to build up the pressure.
You have a team 50 free for the loss of 8 wickets and you're still in a defensive mode.
Need to be attacking. And, you know, if the Bangladesh team do get up to 100 or get past that, you know, it would really hurt the West Indies A team to know that they couldn't have finished off the innings having them 54 for 8 inside 16 overs. This time again, no gully or third slip fielder, fourth slip as the case may be, in position in that wide region, and just runs down to third man. Offers an easy single to Rakibul Hassan.
Yes, I think the captain, the Silver, really is mixing a trick or two out there. Because these are just easy runs on offer there for the Bangladesh team. And you have them where you need to press home the advantage, and this has not been done.
Greaves bowling well, and as we said, 4 for 10 in 4.4 overs. Justin Greaves. And the energy is there, certainly, in the West Indies A team. You can see them turning over quickly to get to the other end. Spirit certainly high at the moment. And at the end of 16, it's 55-8.
Why not? With a team 8 wickets down for just 55 runs on the board, you would want to try to wrap up the inning as quickly as possible. But again, as we did indicate, the captain, the Silver, need to be a little proactive. Certainly, he needs to press home the advantage that they do have at this point.
McSween is back. And down the leg side, so it just gives Rakibul Hassan an easy single as he just works it into the onside. So that just, you know, underlines the statement made by Greg as well, that the West Indies A team needs to be a bit more attacking. So letting runs up too easy. You know.
Too many easy singles on over.
Confidently played there by Jacques Alianik. Lovely day for cricket. The sun is out, blue skies above, and the outfield in spectacular condition. A dry day here in Grosselie, St. Lucia, and not a better day than this for the game of cricket. West Indies A using that to their advantage. This one taking the edge and just short of the Silver and running down to find leg. It looked as though it came off the edge or maybe the glove, and rightfully so. Again, the delivery climbing and just taking the glove, and
a better effort by the keeper, the Silver, perhaps could have resulted in a catch.
Yeah, I thought that he was looking to defend rather than go for the catch, and just maybe a step again forward there, Greg, and that could have been an easy catch. Good point.
Unless De Silva wasn't too convinced that the ball was perhaps came off the glove, so he just went casually just to stop the ball. But I'm thinking that if he was certain it perhaps came off the gloves, I think a better effort would have been made.
Yeah, certainly. He's that kind of a guy. He likes to put himself on the line for his team. .57 for the loss of 8. And you are seeing correctly at the moment. Your eyes are not deceiving you. It is 57 for the loss of 8. And it is the first one-day match of this series between West Indies A and Bangladesh A, put together by the Bangladesh Cricket Board and the West Indies Cricket Board. Dropping the hands on that one there. Rakibul. Well played in the end. Handled it well. At the end of 17, it's 57 for the loss of 8.
Yes, good end to the over there by Preston McSween. Rakibul did handle this last delivery very well. We saw a number of the Bangladesh batsmen who were dismissed early on, looking to defend deliveries that on about chest height, and it was always difficult to control rather than just looking to drop their hands. So good technique showed there by Rakibul in the end.
Greaves still getting some movement away from the right-handers. You can see Shamar Springer warming up at backward point. Pulling this one hard down to McSween at fine leg. So a single to Xhaka Ali Anik. Still trying to understand why De Silva has not opted to be a bit more attacking. This is normally a position that fuels a skipper to try these things and which will look to make things happen. A wide delivery now signaled by umpire Dayton Butler.
Graves seems to be a bit surprised, but this ball was way down the leg side.
Let's have a look at that delivery again. In a short while, we should have a look at it. It's Graves again as he comes in. Sweetly timed there by Rakibul. And he will get 2. So easing the pressure at the moment. 61 for 8 now.
Yes, good shot there. Just driving this one and just holding the pose for a moment. I think Matthew would have gotten this.
I'm sure he would have. And we would more than likely see those photos on Cricket 360's Facebook page. Oh, this delivery. Pitching and coming back in there, Greg.
Yes, still a bit of movement out in the middle there for the fast bowlers. Justin Graves getting this one to come back a long way after it has gone past the batsman. So West Indies really should be looking to wrap up this inning as quickly as possible. Haven't done all the hard work already.
So Rakibul leaving that one outside the off stump. And Rakibul Hassan, only 19 years of age, Greg Wilson, from Maiman Singh in Bangladesh. would have played most of his cricket with Shine Pukur Cricket Club, Ghazi Group Chattogram, and Dhaka Metro under 16s, and he's a former Bangladesh under 19 cricketer as well, Rakibul. On target there, Graves, not giving much away, giving the batsman much to work with. At the end of 18, it is 61 for the loss of 8.
Still a good over there by Graves, still continuing to keep the pressure. Just one wide delivery outside, down the leg side. But 15 runs off the 6 overs bowled so far. And most importantly, he has picked up 4 wickets. So would want to get a 5th one at least. Okay, he has bowled well, and just the announcement that Sharma Springer has been introduced into the attack, so he too would want to join the party and get something in the wicket column very early.
Springer into the attack, and one of the additions to the West Indies A team set up for this ODI series, Anik, deals with him well there to get 1. Shamar Springer operating from the media center end, and the man from St. Michael in Barbados, 24 years of age, and Springer and the West Indies under 19 team, of course, Greg, would have been known for that rolling of the chest roll, the preferred celebration by Shamar Springer. This time he's edging and gone. Springer strikes, and Rakibul has to go. 9 wickets down, 62 for the loss of 9.
Yes, Shamar Springer certainly joining the party very early. 4th delivery there, getting Rakibul edging behind and giving Captain George De Silva his 6th catch in the inning. So certainly the captain has done his part. Some good glove work there. And the nightmare continues for the Bangladesh team. 9 wickets down for just the loss. For just 62 runs, 9 for 62 in 18.4 overs.
Well, each bowler that has come in has struck. And that's good to see. Everyone working together for the unit. The West Indies A team, 62 for 9. Well. This can very well be going down as the lowest total, the lowest one-day total here at the Daren Sammy Cricket Ground. Well, of course, it's an unofficial one-day international, but the lowest one-day international total that would have been recorded here at this ground, but this is official of course, would be 113, and that was of course by England against the West Indies.
Yes, I remember that game where Chris Gill really came out blazing when it was West Indies' turn at the crease.
Of course, England, they were 113 all out in 28.1 overs. And the West Indies, they knocked it off 115 for 3 in 12.1 overs. That was back in 2019. And of course, you were saying that Chris Gayle came out all guns blazing. Greg, we'll speak about that shortly. The new batsman, Islam Mukidul Mugdo, coming out to the middle. But Chris Gayle, of that 115, Greg Wilson, he struck 77 off 27 deliveries.
Yes, I remember an over in particular, Macwood, he took him to the cleaners. I think there were about four consecutive fours in that over.
My oh my. And Mark Wood is a speedster. And Chris Gayle destroyed him. This one climbing on Mugdo and not handling it well.
And that particular one there, St. Lucians have a way of coming to cricket late. When most persons came in, the game was already done.
Well, let's hope that doesn't happen today, Greg Wilson. And let's hope when we're leaving the Daren Sammy Cricket Ground today, we don't see a string of supporters coming into the ground. Then I'd leave you to tell them that the game has been finished, of course. I wouldn't want to be the one relaying that message as the end of 19 overs. It's 62 for the loss of 9.
Yes, good first over there by Springer. Getting in on the action in his very first over. Picking up the wicket. And Bangladesh 9 down. So Justin Graves, this may very well be the final over. He has to pick up a fifer. If not, Springer may very well wrap things up.
Very much so. And he would want to get that fifer. Justin Graves. He has the opportunity now. Final wicket to get. Too short. Pulled away forcefully. Bishop gets in the way. Anik gets one. Well, actually, he doesn't take it. He doesn't take the single there, Greg.
So Anik clearly is protecting the number 11 batsman. So I think it's the turn of George De Silva now due to the Bangladesh team, what was done to them in the last unofficial test, where you see the field was spread out, and then at certain point in the over, you have all the fielders would be converging to protect the single. So let's see what would be done in the case of Josh De Silva.
But I think if I'm Josh De Silva, I would have looked at giving up the single and looked to get Mugdo on strike. This time he's pulling and he could get 4 here, Xhaka Ali, and he does. Counter attack from Xhaka Ali Anik.
Yes, so it was a good decision not to have taken the single early on. And Justin Graves shot on this occasion into the body of Xhaka Ali and really controlled it well with 2 fielders out on the boundary. Was able to bisect them and get 4 valuable runs for his team, moving them on to 66 for the loss of 9 now.
Top delivery there from Graves. Good comeback. 2 deliveries to go in the over again. As I was saying earlier, I would have looked to given up the single early in the over. Get Mugdo on strike. That would give Graves a better opportunity of getting the fifer. And
I think with 2 deliveries left, the Silva should have closed the field and, if anything, force Xhaka Ali to play the big shot.
Very much so. Don't give him that single. And, well, that one played 2 backward points. Springer is there. So, dot delivery. But now, I thought that the field should have been brought in. And it looks as though that's going to be happening. Bishop is coming in. Well, from a deep backward square leg. Phillip remains at third man. And McSween, he remains at fine leg. cover fielder is being brought up as well. This time, this is an almighty shot from Shaka Alianik. Short delivery that has been cracked away for the first maximum of this game. 72 for 9 at the end of 20 overs.
Good shot there by Addy. Certainly was expecting a short ball with the last ball of the over there and the field being closed. Certainly struck this one powerfully against the wind and it went all the way. So good 6 there, first maximum of the inning, but also this gives the West Indies team a chance to perhaps wrap up the innings because he was protecting the number 11, Islam, and now Springer would have 6 deliveries to bowl at him.
2 slips in position for Shamar Springer. And have a look at that, Greg Wilson. Easy single, as easy as you like. Mugdo turns the strike over and Anik is back on strike.
Well, it's unbelievable, one would say, what we are witnessing, because you would thought that with Mugdo on strike now, the field would have been closed to prevent him from getting an easy single to get off strike and look to bowl 6 deliveries at him in order to get him out.
Yeah, and Anik has looked in good form in this game thus far, apart from what we've seen from any of the Bangladesh batsmen. Anik has stood up. He's on 18 of 25 deliveries. It's a welcome 18, to say the least, for the Bangladeshis. So the least you want to happen is to get him back on strike.
But it's a bit surprising that if the captain has fallen short in this area, you'd have expected somebody else to have brought this to his attention.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one. And there's no intention to do that. But now you can afford to give up the single to Anik. But early on the over and Mugdo was on strike, you would have hoped that, well, as a West Indies supporter, that the Silver would have brought in the field. Anik looks solid.
Yes, certainly he looks solid, both in attack and in defense. So the Silver has to play it smart. Like I said, you saw what Mithun did to Chandrapal and to Athanaze in particular, in terms of opening up the field when he felt he had to close the field, and he ensured that Athanaze did not get 100. That was good, smart cricket. So it was basically a game within a game that was being played.
Yeah, sometimes you need to play the mind games, and it works at the moment. No real pressure while they are 73 for 9. No real on-field situational pressure at the moment for Anik, because he's batting well. And he's happy to just watch a couple of those deliveries from Springer, because he's hitting the ball cleanly and he has been latching on to Justin Graves in the last over. He struck him for a boundary backward of square leg, and he struck him for an almighty 6 out of square leg as well.
But with just 2 deliveries remaining in the over, perhaps he should close the field. You're not going to allow him to get an easy single to get off strike.
And just like that, he turns it over.
So it means that the batsman now only has to survive 1 delivery. And Anik is back on strike if he survives that 1 delivery. So certainly the captain, the Silver, needs to be a little more proactive. And if he's missing the trick, you're hoping that somebody out there, one of the other fielders, the players, should bring that to his attention. Let's not give up those easy singles. You have a team 9 down already. Let's look to finish it off.
And the thing is, whatever Mugdo does here, he's not going to take the single like that. There was an opportunity there.
He did not even offer a shot. Just allow the ball to cannon into the pads.
Yep. So that brings the 21st over to a close. 74 for the loss of 9. Xhaka Ali Anik leading a fight back for the Bangladesh A team. He's on 19.
Yes, I think the West Indies team really need to put on their thinking cap. They're just allowing things to happen rather than looking to be proactive and dictate the pace. Because clearly you have a team in a stronghold and you need to finish them off. And this is one of the areas that various West Indies teams have been lacking over the years. The inability to finish teams off when you have them in a precarious position.
Yeah, how often we have seen West Indies teams, get off to a good start and not being able to carry on, be it in their batting efforts or their bowling efforts. Sherman Lewis is back into the attack, and he's opted to go for a full pitch delivery outside the off stump. Anik not in control.
So Lewis certainly would want to look to wrap things up as quickly as possible.
Too wide, too short there from Lewis outside the off stump. At 1 point, the Bangladesh team 47 for the loss of 7. And now 74 for the loss of 9. As the West Indies A team would have had them in this position, they won't want to, allow the Bangladesh team to get past that psychological figure of 100, Greg.
Not at all. To have had a team, as you indicated, 47 for 7, and if you allow them to get through to 100, they would think that they have something to work with.
Very much so. And they have some good pieces in their ranks as well. Full toss, that's thumped back down the ground for 4.
Yes, easy pickings there by Lewis. Perhaps an attempted slower ball that went wrong, but Xhaka Ali certainly capitalized on this one, just hitting it straight back past the bowler for 4 easy runs. So certainly he's continuing to fight as long as possible. 78 for 9.
Well, it's not lunchtime just yet here in St. Lucia, just about 11:26 a.m. And Sherman Lewis serving up that one on a silver platter on Tuesday morning. And Ali feasting. This time he turns the strike over easily and brings Mugdo on to strike for the final delivery.
Again, with 5 deliveries being bowled, the keeper, Captain De Silva, just allowing Xhaka Ali to just take a single and get to the non-strikers end where he possibly could be on strike for the next over. So certainly he needs to restrict those easy singles.
A good delivery from Sherman Lewis, and there was an opportunity for a single, but Anik and Mugdo opts not to take it for the obvious reason that they would want Anik to face the next over. And at the end of the over, it's 78 for the loss of 9.
Yes, so good batting there by Xhaka Ali. Certainly looking to manipulate the strike as much as possible, and he's been allowed to do it, one would say, to great effect, because the captain certainly is aiding him in that effort, in the sense that he's just giving him the 5th ball to take a single at will, and he has been doing that for the last 3 overs. So certainly De Silva needs to get it right and to wrap up the inning as quickly as possible.
Springer, who is going to continue from the media center end. Letting up this start that they had here, West Indies. Want to knock out this final wicket as quickly as possible. Get in there and look to knock off the runs. Greg, I think I was saying earlier, a short leg fielder could have been instilled. There was a delivery popping up.
Yes, I think Captain De Silva is more in a defensive mode than looking to attack a team that you have 9 down for just 79 runs.
So he gives up the single and Ali opts not to take it. Sends back Mugdo.
So clearly he's manipulating his right.
He's doing a good job and he's playing the situation well. Here's Xhaka Alianic. Doing a brilliant job thus far. I think amid what we saw from the Bangladeshis, Mizanur Babul Rahman would be happy. That's the coach of the Bangladesh team. He'd be proud of what he's seeing out there from good old Xhaka Alianic.
So with 4 deliveries gone so far, we've not seen a change in the field. And it's obvious that within the next 2 deliveries, that Xhaka Alianic is going to look for a single. And we've not seen any changes in the field so far.
Well, Springer is bowling just short of a good length, which makes it very easy for Anik to run that down to third man, or just get inside the line of it and play it down to fine leg or a deep backward square leg. Just like that. And he gets one. They're doing this too easily here, the Bangladeshis.
No, but even from our end, it is so predictable that one wonders why the captain himself have not realized what is happening. This is the question where De Silva thinks that there isn't enough runs on the board for the West Indies batters. I would very much doubt that. But now we're seeing the fielders are closing in for the final delivery. And he's not going to be running. It's just that. All he's continuing doing is just blocking the last delivery. So certainly the captain needs to do better than what he is doing presently. He's just allowing the game to just meander rather than being proactive and look to force to take the final wicket.
Yeah, you have to commend the talent Xhaka Alianic thus far for what he's done. But certainly the West Indies A-team bowlers putting up a good showing with the ball this morning. Anderson Phillip getting things on the way, dismissing Mohammad Naeem Sheikh for a duck. That started the downhill battle for the Bangladeshis. Lewis, some pace there from him, and hitting the gloves of De Silva quite hard. Dot delivery. Lewis got into the act as well, and then Justin Graves, he picked up 4 quick wickets. McSween struck, and Shamar Springer came in and had a wicket as well. This one goes into the air. The fielder comes around and he takes the catch. A brilliant catch there by Tevin Imlach, who normally has the gloves in hand. But how many times you see wicket keepers in the field without the gloves doing some good work? There's Tevin Imlach. And Anik, he has to go for a well-played 25. Bangladesh A-team, they are all out for 80.
Yes, the short ball again, and Anik looking to pull this one over the long on region. Did not get full control of this one, and Imlach running back, and he took a brilliant catch. So certainly the inning has come to an end. Again, another Bangladesh batsman fall into the short pitch delivery.
Yeah, certainly so. A number of short pitch deliveries served up today for these Bangladesh A batsmen. They didn't negotiate it well, and that proved to be their demise. And we're going to have a look at the batting scorecard. A horror scorecard there for the Bangladeshis. Naim Sheikh, he went first to Anderson Phillip, caught by Brian Charles at second slip for a duck. Soumya Sarkar, he went for 15 to Phillip. And Sherman Lewis, he had Cypher Sand, and of course the final wicket that of Jaka Ali Anik for 25 and 15. But Sherman Lewis, he had a wicket as well in there, that Cypher Sand. And Greg Wilson, it was the Justin Graves show. Muhammad Mitun, Mahmudul Hassan Joy, Sabir Rahman and Naeem Hassan, they all went to Graves. And well, you know, Rakibul Hassan, he was in a fight back as well with Jaka Ali Anik. He had 5, he fell to Shamar Springer. And Preston McSween, he had the wicket of Mrityunjoy Chowdhury, who went for a golden duck.
Yes, so all 5 bowlers on display today did reap some success. Anderson Phillips picking up 2 for 15. Sherman Lewis 2 for 24. Justin Graves, they pick out the bowling, 4 for 25. Preston McSween 1 for 10. And Shamar Springer picking up the 1 for 4. So all 5 bowlers for the West Indies tasted success out in the middle.
Yeah, and that would have tasted good for the West Indies bowlers. Would have feasted on the Bangladeshis batsmen today, who of course would have been served up with that diet of short pitch bowling that they didn't handle well. So that's the situation at the Daren Sammy Cricket Ground. The Bangladesh A team have been rattled out for 80 here in the very first one-day match against, well, of the series, the first of 3. And we'll be back with more in about half an hour's time with the chase of the West Indies.